Hi guys, let's make the best waakye stew ever. Homemade waakye is so underrated because you get to make it the way you want it. And it can also taste just like Haje's own. So let me show you guys how I make my waakye at home. As usual, I pair this with my waakye, some spaghetti, gari, plantain, some lettuce, and I enjoyed it. Let's get into it. Now I put in my proteins into my saucepan. I'm using some cow meat and then tripe. Okay, tripe and one tau meat. Tau meat is so underrated. It's so good. Now I added in some wele and then I'm going to add in my pepper mix. As usual, you guys know my pepper mix ingredients. If you don't know it, it's in the caption. But it's just blended KPAKPOSHITO with some bell pepper, carrot, ginger, garlic, and onions. I added in my seasoning, which contains REMIE chicken, REMIE beef, and some MAGGIE cube. I mix everything together and I use that to season my meats. Now I'm going to add in a little water and then allow this to steam. Just know that when you're steaming your meat, you can keep adding some water because you want the meat to be tender, so water can help with that. Once your meat is ready, set it aside and then let's start making our stew. For the stew, I have here my tomato mix blend from Miss Cookie Spices, which means you can get your tomato mix from them or blend your own tomatoes at home. So if you want to blend yours, you can just use some 5 large tomatoes, add in some KPAKPOSHITO and onions. Okay, the onion, just 1 large onion will work. Now what I'm going to do is after you blend it with water, you are going to transfer it into a bowl and cook this so the water and the tomatoes drains out and then you get just the tomato content. This way it helps your stew cook very fast and also helps with the method of frying. Okay, so there is no boiling here because you're doing everything right here. You can see the water has drained out from the tomatoes and then we have just our tomato contents. Perfect. This is how we want it. Okay, so when you blend your tomatoes, just boil it so it becomes this way. Now let's fry our meat. Now I'm going to add in enough oil into your saucepan because I'm going to use that same oil to also make our stew. Now add in some onions to the oil for flavor. You know this, right? When you add some onions to the oil when you're frying anything at all, it makes whatever you're frying smell and taste so good. Very flavorful as well. So please do the same thing. Now once your meat is well fried, you can take it out and then go ahead and start your stew. Don't take out the onions in the oil because it helps with the flavor in the stew. Now I'm going to add in some onions. One thing about waakye stew, it needs a lot of onions, and I have my onions from Miss Cookie Spices already blended. No stress for me, so I'm just going to pour that into my oil. If you don't have this, you can just blend about 2 large onions and you are good to go. Now I'm going to fry this. Remember, to get the best waakye stew, you need to adapt to the method of frying. No boiling, you fry. Okay, so you're going to fry this so it is well fried. Then you're going to add in that pepper mix that we used to season our meat. So it's going to act as our stew base, and then we're going to go ahead and fry this with the onions as well. Cover this and let it fry for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then this is what we have. Now add in some red pepper or mekosam. Now the gum say then you're going to fry that as well. Okay, if you don't have red pepper, then you can just increase the pepper content in your pepper mixture. Okay, now add in some tomato paste here. I don't use a lot of tomato paste because I don't want it to taste sour. I just use a little of that. Cover this and let that fry for about 10 minutes before you add in your tomato mix. This is looking so good already. At this point, you can even eat it like this. I mean, it's not looking bad at all. But then because you want to make the perfect stew, you're going to add in your tomato that you cooked earlier. Do you see how the tomato looks? With this method, it doesn't keep long to cook, and trust me, you will love it. Trust me on this one. Now I'm going to cover this and let it cook. It can take approximately 35 to 40 minutes to fry well, very well like this, and there you have it. Your stew is perfectly fried. You can see how it looks. It doesn't look like a board, it looks fried. Yes. Now you're going to season this with your Miss Cookie mix for stew. Listen, this is one of my secret ingredients when I'm making my stews. My Miss Cookie mix for stew, guys. It tastes so good. It makes your stew taste so nice and natural. If you want to buy it, you can just DM them on Instagram. Now we are going to add in some shrimp powder. Shrimp powder is very necessary in your waakye stew. And then add in any seasoning of your choice. I'm using REMIE chicken mixed with MAGGIE cube, and I'm using that to season my stew. Now go ahead and add in your meat stock, which is not optional at all. It is very compulsory. You need to add that meat stock to your stew because it makes it taste so good. Now let it cook for 5 minutes and then take it out and add in your proteins. Now you can add in your proteins. That's your tripe, your wele, your fried meats. And guys, oh my god, this tasted so good. I need you guys to try it and just come and tell me, Abby, stew in fact, it was so good, and I need you guys to really try it. Just try it and let me know how it goes. Okay, Now just cover it and let it cook for just 2 minutes before you add in your eggs, like your boiled eggs. Okay, you can't eat waakye without boiled eggs. It's not possible as a Ghanaian. Boiled eggs is very, very, very compulsory. So you're going to add that to the stew. And now the stew is looking like Hajj stew. Oh my god, it tasted just like that too. It was so good, honestly. Now my stew is ready. At this point, you can pair this with your waakye or anything that you want. Now let me know in the comment section. Is waakye overrated? I know people that are fighting their lives to say that waakye is overrated, but personally, I think waakye is a very, very great meal. If you get a good stew like this one, trust me, your waakye will taste so good. So it's all about the stew you're pairing it with. Okay, it's not about the waakye itself, it's the stew and the shito. So maybe when you try this waakye stew recipe, waakye will not be overrated for you again. It will be one of the best Ghanaian meals you've ever had. Let me know if you try this, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.